Okay, Libra, you guys are up. I know I have several Libra viewers, so um, I know you guys have been waiting for this. Okay, so here we go, Libra. What is going on for Libra? Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2019. My lovely Libras. Those balancers, right? You guys always want balance. This is a tricky, tricky time right now that we're in astrologically right now also. So balance is very welcome. Libras. Okay, there we go. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, I was having this feeling of like love. And so like this is like at the center of whatever you have going on this month, Libras. Uh, this is very, very lucky, especially for this time that we're in astrologically right now, but a bright new sunny beginning. So good things, you know, when everybody's feeling like the intensity of transformation and stuff right now, you guys like true to form are holding the balance. And when the scale like tips to the really intense transformational phase, you guys like, you know, use your balancing powers to be to like equalize in essence whatever is so strong and powerful and intense and transformational. There's that much joy as well that you kind of create. So whatever you have going on at the center of the month is like related to new beginnings, happiness, bright sunny things, right? Yeah, and true to form. Okay, wait, so we've got balance here, right? And the scales, right? Of course, for Libra, right? Justice, the scales. You guys are the scales. So you're using your balancing powers this month tremendously between fear and happiness, right? Fear and happiness. These are like the two sides of the scale and trying to balance this out. And a huge part of this is going to be mindset, right? So where your mindset is at is going to determine how you tip those scales for yourself and for the people around you too. And so if you're feeling stuck in any area, then it's likely related to a thought that you have, a story that you're telling yourself that's keeping you stuck in that area. So if you switch up your story, this is time for reprocessing, right? Tomorrow, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, and the big RE for this, all the REs apply during Mercury retrograde, but the big one for this month is reprocessing. So like the R as in EMDR, reprocessing. So anywhere there's been fear, whatever story you've been telling yourself that's kind of feeding that fear, like how can you see it differently? How can you get curious about what you're telling yourself about that situation that's feeding that fear? And how can you empower yourself with a new story about it? Like reprocess what actually happened, reprocess what you were feeling, or allow yourself to feel the feelings that maybe you blocked at the time of whatever this happened that created this continuous fear. And again, it's going to be related to thoughts. So your mental thoughts that are recurring over and over and over are a message to you, telling you where you're stuck and the story that you're telling you that's the story that you're telling yourself that's keeping you stuck. So you can flip this, but again, ultimately, this is all about bright, sunny new beginnings for you. And so even though you guys are all about balance and everything, you're not immune to the squeeze of the transformation that's happening right now on a huge level. Okay. Oh, this is good. Okay. Okay, so again, this is a general reading, so things are going to apply differently for different people, and you can always schedule a personal individual reading with me. and I'll put the link in the comments below. So here's the thing. We've got the marriage card and the divorce card right next to each other, and right next to fear and new beginnings. And so, like, obviously the happily ever after that you're wanting is a bright new sunny beginning. The fear that you have is divorce, and not just divorce as in a marriage breaking up, but as in separation of some sort. So there's fear about separating from something in your life, whether it's a person, a partner, a romantic partner, a spouse, a job, a friend, a negative situation, all of that. Divorce kind of symbolically encompasses separation on any level, and that's what I mean by this will apply differently for different people. So there's fear about having to separate from something, but there's also knowing that there's happiness on the other side of walking away from what's no longer good for you. There's a bright sunny new beginning from that, and there's happiness that comes from that. And so even though it may not be like a marriage for every person, even for people who are married, so if you're in a relationship or married, there may be something that you need to separate from with that person, like separate from your negative thoughts or separate from an activity that they do. But if it's something that they love, let them have that, and you separate yourself from that in order to give yourself some peace of mind. So these are just some ways that this can manifest for some people. But ultimately, you're like finding balance between what to separate from and how to have happiness because of that. And it's kind of scary, sure, of course. And so I love this because there is something that needs to be let go of. But you're holding on to it too for fear, because like this is related to whatever story you're telling yourself. So whatever recurring thoughts you have in your mind is the story that you're telling yourself. And part of you is afraid to let go of that story because you think it's keeping you safe somehow. And it probably kept you safe at one point in your life, but it no longer is. This is reminding me of what Wayne Dyer had said at one point, that yesterday's medicine can often become today's poison. I'm not quoting him exactly, but he would say things along those lines, where what served you at one point, a story that you told yourself that kept you safe at one point, is no longer maybe keeping you safe and is actually being harmful to you. And so it's hard to let go of that mindset because it had value at one point, and so maybe part of you thinks it still has value, but it needs to be let go of in order for you to have this emotional accomplishment. Let's see what else. Okay, energy is operating in the situation. Oh, yes. Okay, so again, we've got this pull in two directions, like you're wanting to take charge and make a decision, but you have this pull in two directions of let go, don't let go, let go, don't let go, to a particular mindset or thought pattern. And there's also this energy of sadness, sorrow, and grief. And this is the thing, Libras, you guys are not like alone in this. I think almost every sign is having this card come up. Maybe not everyone, but several of them have had this card come up. And we really are in a period of reviewing things, of transforming things, reprocessing things, deep, 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 intense emotions. And so this means feeling any grief or sorrow or sadness or loss. In order to move through it, to create the new beginning that we really want, to transform. Like, transformation is painful and beautiful at the same time. It's both, right? I mean, you guys know and understand the power of both, because you know you're the scales. You're trying to balance both. Both have value. You know, the darkness and the light both have value in some way. Fear and happiness both have value in some way, and they all guide us in some way. It's just that you got to get clear on how you're feeling and what you need and what you want in order to make those decisions, and then process this grief, right? And then let go of whatever it is that needs to be let go of. And ultimately, like, you guys are going to be like, this is an indication of financial stability too through this. So if there's a fear that letting go of something or separating from something or someone, your job, your relationship, whatever, is going to cause financial harm, it's probably just a fear and a story that you're telling yourself and not necessarily true. Beautiful. Okay, so some of you may even be thinking of moving. I love this. Oh, I love this. Okay, so okay, so some of you may be thinking or talking about or considering a move to a new home, a new apartment, a new location in some area. Could be a new office, whatever. But this indicates like a physical move. It also indicates that as you're grieving and feeling sad and processing the loss or sorrow or sadness of anything, physical movement is going to help you transform that. It's going to help you feel it and move it through your body. And so connecting with your intuition is also going to be huge for you. But in order to connect with your intuition, you need to know what it is that you're feeling and what you're thinking so that you can distinguish between a feeling, a thought, and an intuitive message. But your intuition is really, really going to be getting stronger as you move through this transformation. There's still a fly in here. And I love this, the Two of Cups. So all of this transformation is moving you into a deeper connection and commitment, either with yourself in some cases, but also with a romantic partner. So this is a proposal of some sort, like, will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? Will you, connect with me on a deeper level in this intimate romantic relationship? And processing all of these emotions and stuff is going to help you get to that place where, for those of you who are asking, can ask, and for those of you who are being asked, can intuitively know whether or not you should say yes. Oh, beautiful. I had love. Like, my first thought as I was shuffling was love. Okay, very cool, Libras. Okay, so let's get your romance card. Whoa, that's a big one. Oh, getting to know each other. Yep, getting to know each other. Okay, so as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Beautiful. Yep, so as you reveal your innermost selves, and this whole process is helping you know yourself better so that when you do have someone that you can share it with, you can honestly and authentically, truly share who you really are with that person. All right, 72 Names of God card for November. Forget thyself. I now transcend the limits of my own being. I cling to the tree of life. Happiness finds me now that my ego is out of the spotlight. I can get out of my own way, letting go of all stubbornness. And this is related to fears, right? Because it's our ego that ends up having fears and like keeping us stuck or prevents us from experiencing like all of this new sunny, bright beginnings and happiness and connection with other people. So transcending the limits of your own being and happiness finding you, yes. Now that your ego is out of the spotlight, which means ego out of the spotlight means processing your fears. Okay, beautiful Libras. There you go. This is your November reading. If you know a Libra, tag them, share this with them. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.